Hello, people in the void. Today, I am talking about a conversation I had yesterday. Did it make me spiral? No, because I've already been thinking about this since I've been told I had to get a job and work. I'm gonna just do a little cutesy vibe while I talk. I have a camera to show you. I have a huge mirror next to me because I was originally gonna already do everything. I took a random box from upstairs down here. I was like, maybe there's some jewelry in here that I can exploit. And I'm gonna do my makeup a little bit. I don't really have a lot of makeup though. I can show y'all. I'll just dump. Oh, that's my debit card. Okay. I don't have everything in here because I really just don't do makeup often enough. Maybe, I don't know. Today we're talking about the creative process. Okay. I wanted to talk about the creative process because I think a lot of us are very creative, and more than that, I think there's a lot that we can actually gain more than any job could ever give you, any soulless ass job could give you. Okay? It's so important to create because if we're not able to express ourselves through an outlet, how do we release anything pent up, anything unprocessed or needing to be processed out of us just psychologically? Let's also not fail to forget the countless studies that point towards creativity being such an enhancer for cognitive abilities. Like, genuinely, if you want to live longer, have better neuroplasticity in your brain, meaning it's easier for you to make connections in your brain, that basically just means you become sharper. People who engage in more creativity in their life just have better brain functioning. If anything, you want to be creative in your day. So creativity is important. It makes you smarter. Trust your gut. A lot of people have a false fear. And what does that mean? It means that you convince yourself you're afraid of something, but deep down you know you're not. Because if deep down you really don't know you're gonna be okay, and you're not literally in the middle of war, that's telling me something about your nervous system. That's telling me there's a disconnection between where you actually are and where you think you are. We should always know we're gonna be okay. And there's two types of people. Some people have succumbed to their beliefs so much that if you tell them they're gonna be okay, they react like they're in fight or flight mode. They get really mad. It's like, ugh, how can you say I'm gonna be okay? The story that they're already telling themselves, because every belief is just a story, is feeding an ego for them. It's a consciousness, the stream of thoughts that are attached to this earthly realm. It's just very humanistic in the sense of attachments and fears and complexes. Okay, so it's very much this surface level kind of abstraction of who we deem ourselves to be. And so depending on what you assign your ego to, which at the end of the day, when you become aware that your ego, you can choose what you want to think or what you want to feed yourself, because what you feed yourself in terms of like media and being around certain people and yada 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 is gonna affect your ego, right? So it's kind of like some people just are really unaware of this concept. I think they kind of forget that, hey, I can be proven wrong in how I think, and having this belief that you can be proven wrong is so important. There's really a lot of points to how important this topic is, and a lot of wisdom in the sense of how to change your life to where you feel happier. Because we all just want happiness, right? We know that. And the idea of happiness has just also been so commodified. Like, should I try this as blush? People, are smart and they want money, so they make businesses out of things that people need or feel like they need, and so therefore they will buy. But it's also like so funny because no one can tell you or show you really how to be happy. It's such an individual thing, and it's something that you get and you can understand by listening to yourself. That's why I was telling you, like, that voice in you that says, I'm going to be okay. It's like your intuition. It's intuitive. You don't have to try to find the voice. natural. And isn't natural just always better in some way? It doesn't have to try. Don't we all love ease? Forget everyone that doesn't like being mellow, trying to tell you what to do, or trying to say, the only way to get this is by being very disciplined, very hardworking. You have to just deprive yourself of every source of happiness ever, and you have to give in. You have to surrender to this mentality that life is not easy. You know, that's my least favorite thing to hear, is when people say life is not easy, because what does it mean to believe something is easy? It's an attitude. If you think everything is hard, of course it's gonna feel harder. Does it mean it is harder? No, it just feels harder. When you think things are easy for you, it's easy for you. It feels easier for you. Now, you might have to put in a lot of work still. You might have to put in out a lot of action, but it still feels natural for you. It feels natural for you to overcome a challenge, because what someone else might deem as a giant mountain in the way, you find it to be a bump that you can walk over. That's how you see things, is this is not hard. And honestly, to believe it is hard is giving it power over you. And the more that we say it is hard, we increase the height of this task, of this difficulty. And now it feels like we have to walk 20 more miles over it. Or maybe we only have to walk 5, but it's all relative. When you think that something is gonna take more work and you find that is very challenging and that unmotivates you, my question is always, okay, what else am I gonna do with my time? And is that objectively better? Does that objectively give me, still subjectively, does that subjectively give me more value to my life? That's why it's also important to trust this. Intuitively, what do you want, bro? When you fall asleep and you dream of certain things and they make you happy, what are those things? When someone has something and you notice you feel jealous, what is it that they have? These things, they're signs about what you want. When I hear people say that they don't get jealous, and if they actually mean it genuinely, it's because they most likely believe they have it all. And what's all of it? It all. It's they're fulfilled and satisfied in their life. Now, does that come with a certain object or certain thing or certain, status? No, it's whatever they choose makes them feel fulfilled. That is a choice. I love the smell of coffee, and that literally makes my morning. I'm so inspired by my joy in that thing that it makes me think of something to do, something to create, something to love. Something to create, to love it. That experience is very beautiful, and when it comes out of my own hand, it's unique. No one else has done that. That's really special, because like I said, at the end of the day, all we're seeking is that fulfillment, and we place it on other things outside of us, right? Because we're taught to do that. And sometimes it does come from things outside of us. Eating food is comfortable. Survival. And that's outside of us. That's biological. There are things that we don't actually need. It's important to keep in mind of what that is. So that way our gratitude stays up. Gratitude is everything. Without gratitude, everyone would be done with living life. There'd be no point in life without gratitude. So amplify that wherever you are. And the more that it's amplified, the more life feels good. And the more life feels good, the more you'll want to do. The more energy you'll have. The more pleasant you'll be. So the more company you'll have. It's a natural thing to want to feel good and comfortable and happy. So allow yourself that. Maximize it wherever you can. No matter where you are in life. No matter how you think how much you deserve it or don't deserve it. When all else is lost for me or has been lost for me, when I actually felt like I had nothing, when I felt so far behind in life, it felt like everything was still urging me to enjoy, no matter how bad I felt about myself. It gives you more desire to try, to make yourself a good life. Some people need more conversations with themselves. If you are someone, hold on, I can make this work. If you're someone who asks a lot of people for advice and you never give yourself your own advice or listen to yourself, Oh, I don't know if I like this eyeliner that I just did. If you don't talk to yourself, then you're always asking people for advice. And it's just like, girl, listen, ask people for advice to learn their perspective, make note of it. But if you keep on coming to somebody for a very long freaking time with the same perspective on something, baby, you are not having enough combos with yourself. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you right now, have more combos with yourself from different perspectives. Normalize talking to yourself with a perspective beyond what you have, one that's more conscious of how you're thinking as opposed to what the thing is. Sometimes we think we're stressed about the thing, but we're stressed because we see the thing somehow in a certain way. Now, you decide what things are bad and good, right? If something is coming at you and harming you like a rhinoceros, okay, yeah, that can be bad, right? Let's just say that's bad. Now look, if you have a problem with a friend, that's probably bad. But these two things, one is more likely and very possible that something can hurt you and you may be, right? Then that's all done. Then it's like, okay, end of that game over, right? There's more of a function to maybe that anxiety, some may say, the sense of urgency, the sense of I gotta act quick, I gotta figure this out now. Now, if your friend, boyfriend, girlfriend, okay, I'm bringing up relationship problems because that just seems to be the topic of the year. Some career is not gonna work out, whatever, anything where you feel like this is a problem, this is bad, you're gonna be okay. What real harm is this gonna cause you? How do you define real harm? Because if real harm is, oh, I'm not gonna get that job, you don't have it now and you're fine. You don't have it now and you're fine. You don't have the thing that you're praying for every day now and you're alive and you're fine. Do you feel fine? That's a different topic. What in your life will make you feel more fine? What in your life will make you feel more fine? What do you like to do? Girl, you don't even know what you like to do because you're not having a conversation with yourself. I'm kidding. There's just so many dimensions to life and people think that the only way to be happy is through one way. And it's like crazy how we know it's silly to think that. We all know it's silly to think that. But whenever you're stressed out and you don't know how to control that stress, it's gonna feel like the world is crashing in on you. And this is without a rhinoceros, okay? It's just like there are people who are living their best life and they don't have what you're seeking and they're fine. So what's wrong with you? What's wrong with like a couple of heartbreaks and a couple of setbacks and a couple of things that don't, feel the most dopamine rewarding or don't feel the most like you deserve it, because things happen that we don't deserve. But how do you make it into something that only you can make it into? Oopsies, I just put eyeliner on my mirror. Only you can turn the situation into this. Only you can come out as an alternate version of you after this experience. So what will that alternate version of you be? No one else is in your position. So what can you do to make your position iconic? What can you do to make your position the position that makes you believe it's the best ever? How can you make what you're going through still have the best results of who you become after? Like, it's things like this that shape your future outcomes. So if you want to think about, will I be stable just because of whether or not I have this job? Think about, how can I gear myself to be the person that can pivot? How can I have the mentality of being the best so that way I show up as the best for whatever problem? How can I create me to be a better me? It's not about having a better job. What's the point of a better job if you have a lousy character? And it might feel like I'm not really staying on one topic here. But these things are really important to consider because anxiety is just such a ruiner of experiences sometimes. And it doesn't need to be. Doesn't need to be. We can just have fun and kumbaya on our earth time and feel so awesome and youthful and fun and healthy and like we're actually living life. That's how I want to feel. So if you're with me, put your hands up. Yeah, I mean, honestly, just be yourself. I'm trying to be like this more because sometimes I get so judgmental of things I say or how I present myself, and it's like, what makes you feel liberated and also impressed by yourself? I have no idea what the title is going to be, but I'm gonna have fun editing this. I'm gonna make it fun because that was another thing I realized. I had a phase where I would make like videos and I started taking it way too seriously. I was like, girl, first of all, you're on a platform to like just put out whatever you want. So I also feel like social media is treated so silly. You can reap so much out of social media by just having fun with it. Just put yourself out there so you can share your creations. Sometimes finding the right community gives you so many opportunities that you would have never realized. You're gonna thank yourself for that. Anyway, be smart, be hot, have fun. Be nerdy and hot and mysterious, and get off LinkedIn. Just kidding. LinkedIn's biggest hater right now. Guys, because what if I end up like loving them? I'll be the biggest success story they ever had. LinkedIn is so good. Look at how this one YouTuber who really hated it became the biggest enjoyer. She actually invested in stocks. All right, guys, I love you. Oh my God, you can freaking see my eye. Why is that so chill? I was like, it's kind of scary, but it's also kind of chill as hell. All right, guys, thank you for sticking around. Thank you for popping up. Thank you for being here. I'm gonna go now, and I hope you have an awesome rest of your day. Thanks for listening as always. Have a good freaking day.